From the weather team you can trust, here's Chief Meteorologist Eric Sneidel.
Well, you know you're in a good place spring-wise when we're a quarter after 11 o'clock in the evening and we are still looking at temps in the 50s and 60s across the area. Penn Yan is still 63 degrees, 56 in Rochester, a little bit cooler, but we'll certainly still be able to take that. A lot of birds out there. I showed you what it looks like on radar. There are many. Many of those are going to be warblers. This time of year, they're kind of the first to arrive, but we got some other feathered friends that I think are going to be making a cameo sooner versus later. If you are an aficionado of hummingbirds, I think this is going to be an early arrival. We've already now had some sightings even into like northeast Ohio, so they're not here yet. But we got a warm week ahead. We've got favorable flow ahead, and it's not impossible that within the next week or so, we too may have our first hummingbird sighting. So hummingbird feeders, get them ready. I think they're going to be put to good use. Those are birds that you're looking at. These are the traditional blooms of those birds that you see around our local radar sites. Not to be confused with actual rain, which is what radar is intended to be used for. These are thunderstorms, not severe, but enough bite that they've got a good amount of lightning and thunder. In fact, right now we've got over 100 fresh strikes of lightning over the last 15 minutes out of this. The cameo that this is going to make overnight tonight is going to be such a close call because the trajectory of these is kind of like that. So do they make it to the thruway? Do they make it to Rochester? I feel like probably not, but I suppose the chances are not zero. Will this end up making it to Rochester? Yeah, I don't see how that's not. So between these two waves of energy that we've got, we're going to get hit by at least one of them, and it's going to give us some wet weather probably through the morning commute. I will note that the overall mid-levels of the atmosphere that are kicking off these complexes of thunderstorms, bigger complexes, there will be many of these that are going to be floating around this week. So that's my way of telling you we've had some storms so far this season, but they've been kind of few and far between. That's not what these are going to end up being. These are going to be a lot of you deal with thunderstorms, kind of a setup. Tomorrow morning, there's that second wave that I showed you that could affect the morning commute, and then we're in the 70s. Again, with partial sunshine into the afternoon. And again, into Wednesday morning, another one of these short waves comes by. Another round of maybe loud and gusty thunderstorms. And then again into the afternoon, partial sunshine gets us back well into the 70s, maybe close to 80. There's another one, perhaps going into Wednesday evening, and yeah, there might be one or two of these still around even into early Thursday. That was a lot, and admittedly, models don't do great with the timing and the evolution of this, so there's a fair amount of uncertainty and ambiguity. What we know is there will be multiple rounds out of this, which means a generalized 1 to 2 inches of rain over the next 5 days, and some of you will get more. There could be a few strong storms with this. Right now, I'm not overwhelmed with the severe weather parameter space out of this, but I will acknowledge it's something we're going to end up watching, and then we'll be watching this after Saturday. Here comes your next round of cooler air. I said cooler, not necessarily colder. It's subjective, but we could have at least a day or two with highs in the 40s. And look, if I were a betting man, I would suggest that we may have a few snow flurries flying around in about a week or so's time. We'll see where that goes.